Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Alright, today we're going to talk about 6 reasons why you can't lose weight, or why you may have hit a weight loss plateau and how to boost past that and finally get rid of that stubborn fat. Now, you are not genetically cursed. This is not why you can't lose weight, and it's not your slow metabolism that's causing you to hold on to the weight and slowing down your progress on your weight loss journey. However, at the end of this video, I'm going to give you one bonus tip that can help you boost your metabolism in the long run. Now, I understand a weight loss journey is a deeply personal thing, and it's nobody's business other than your own to get involved in it. Our bodies are extremely complex, and the tips I'm going to give you today are definitely not the only ways or not the only things that are holding you back from losing weight. There are definitely medical reasons as to why you may be holding on to that fat and struggling to lose weight. So if you've had medical advice, please take that over anything I'm going to tell you. However, for the vast majority of you listening, it's highly likely that it's just going to take a couple minor adjustments here and there to shift that needle and boost you on your weight loss journey. Okay, often it really is just a few things that you don't actually realize you're doing, but once you make those changes, you notice a big difference. Okay, first one, and it may seem quite obvious, but that is you are consuming more calories, quite often a lot more calories than you think you are. This really just boils down to poor calculation of calories, and this is such a common thing when it comes to being unable to lose weight. Or maybe not being unable to, but just struggling with your weight loss journey and it being a lot slower than you would like it to be. Now, one thing I absolutely despise, and it may seem quite contradictory to what I'm actually saying, is I cannot stand counting calories. I don't recommend it. It's something that is definitely not sustainable in the long term for sustainable weight loss. It's frustrating. I mean, come on, you've tried counting calories before. You know it's not fun, it's time consuming, and it stresses you out. I've tried doing this when I was younger, and I absolutely hated it. I obsessed about food, and it actually made me spiral deeper into a very unhealthy mindset about food. And I'm talking way back when I was sort of late teens, early 20s. Thankfully, I've studied nutrition, I understand it, and I know how my body works. I don't know everything, but I know loads more than I did, and I'm able to control my weight and manage my diet successfully without counting calories. So what's the alternative to counting calories? You're probably wondering, how am I supposed to reach my weight loss goals if I'm not tracking my calories? Well, if you're wanting long-term sustainable weight loss, the answer to that, in my opinion, is to educate yourself on nutrition and understanding your body. You're eating food every day. You need it to live and survive and function on a daily basis. It's such an important part of life. So to me, it kind of goes without saying that we all should have a good understanding, or at least a basic understanding, of the macronutrients in foods and what we're putting into our body. We're all different, so we all need different amounts of food, different types of food to reach the various types of weight loss and fitness and body goals. So if you can understand your body better and understand nutrition on a level that is going to help you reach those goals without having to just obsessively count calories. And I don't mean completely eliminate it. Sometimes you do need to sort of track it a little bit, but to be obsessively counting calories, it's just not sustainable. So I really do recommend educating yourself a little bit on nutrition and having a much better understanding of it, so you can go through life and not have to rely on someone else solely to help you get there. So back to consuming too many calories on a daily basis and not actually understanding how you're doing this. There's a few reasons why this is happening. So let's say you're cooking some meat or some tofu in the pan, or anything in the pan. Once you start adding oil to that, that can really bump your calories up. Even 1 tablespoon of oil is about 120 calories extra. So if you could replace that oil with something like water, or cook in nothing if you really don't need to and it's not going to stick to the pan, then definitely do that. It's the same thing when it comes to sauce and dressing. If you're making a salad, take a look at how much dressing you're actually putting on the end. What is actually in that dressing? What ingredients is inside that? Is it something that you've brought from the supermarket, or is it something you've made up at home? Same with sauces, and I'm really bad for this. I love to add some sriracha or tomato sauce or barbecue sauce on the side of my bowl when I'm having my dinner, and I know that's bumping up the calories. Oftentimes it doesn't matter, I'm not worried because I'm not usually trying to lose fat, I'm just maintaining my weight. However, I do know it's very, very easy to go over the calories when you're adding things like this here and there throughout the day. It can easily add up to like 500, 600, 700 calories or more. Same with coffee, if you're adding sugar to it or syrups, it can easily bump those calories up. So keep an eye on those things, guys, because it really, really can make a huge difference. If you can cut that back a little bit, you will really notice it. It's kind of like when you go on vacation. You spend a bit here, you spend a bit there. It's a small transaction, it doesn't cost much, and you're fine with it. And then it's not until you actually check your bank account a few days later and you're like, what? And you have to have a little tally up and you think, where did that money go? Where did it all go? You've spent it. It's done. It's gone. And it's because you weren't really keeping that close of an eye on it. Those little tiny transactions were all adding up. And it's the same when it comes to eating food. All those little bits here and there that you're adding to your meals or adding as snacks, it's all adding up and the calories are getting higher. Okay, number 2 is fad diets. Let me tell you, they will never work. Not in the long run. Maybe in the short term, you might lose some weight and you might lose some weight quite quickly and you're feeling really good. However, it's not sustainable. Those fad diets are designed to help you lose weight quick. They suck you in, you follow them, you really don't learn anything about why you're eating the types of foods that these diets force you to eat, and you lose the weight, but then, as I said, it's not sustainable and you put it straight back on, often quicker than you lost it. That's what's so frustrating about these diets. It is a diet. It's seen as a short-term thing or a short-term challenge to get you somewhere quickly, to make you feel good, but then it just rips it all away from you when you go off that diet and you're left with no knowledge and you're back at square one again. This is also really bad for your body. It can mess up your metabolism so much. So please don't follow fad diets. Instead, think of dieting as a lifestyle. It's a lifestyle change, and understand food better. Educate yourself more on nutrition so you don't have to be dieting. Instead, you know what you're eating on a daily basis and you can actually enjoy food without having to closely monitor the calories. As I said earlier, food is something that we need on a daily basis. We have to have it. So we should make sure that we really understand it better and understand nutrition, macronutrients, carbs, fats, and protein, and why we put those into our body, how they work in our body, so you can move on ahead and have sustainable weight loss and weight management. Okay, number 3 is more of a tip if you're not just trying to lose fat, but you're wanting to build a bit of muscle as well. So here, oftentimes you'll be working out in the gym, trying to build some muscle, trying to tone up and lose some fat. But the types of foods you're eating are not the right types of foods. You're not on the right diet. Therefore, you're actually losing muscle. So you're losing weight overall, but that weight is not just fat, it's muscle. So you're not actually seeing the results. You're not seeing the muscle change and the definition and your body toning up the way you're wanting to. This is such a common thing, and it always does come down to eating the wrong foods. It's just about having the lack of knowledge in regards to the foods you're eating and what you're putting into your body. So if you are trying to build muscle or at least preserve your muscle, you want to make sure that you do have enough protein in your diet. You do need to have carbs because the carbs are what is fueling you. Carbs is your body's main energy source. So please don't cut them out. You do need them. What you should be cutting back is the amount of calories you're consuming. Keep the carbs in your diet. Also, you want to make sure that you are getting enough healthy fat in your diet to help with brain function and prevent cardiovascular disease. I get my main fat sources from avocados, nuts, and seeds. And of course, protein. Protein is responsible for growth, recovery, and repair. So if you're not getting enough of that in your diet when you're working out, then you will struggle to build muscle and you'll likely start losing muscle, especially when you're cutting your calories back and trying to lose fat at the same time. Now, number 4 is more of a mindset thing rather than what you can actually go and change as far as food goes. And that is how much you're obsessing over it, how much focus you're putting on food, and more so than negative focus you're giving food. For example, it's that time of day, it's mid-afternoon, you're at work, you really want to go and get that bag of chips or the chocolate or go over and get a coffee with the syrup, but you're constantly telling yourself that you can't do it, you're not allowed to do it, you're trying to lose weight, you're trying to lose fat, you can't have those foods. The more you're telling yourself those things and banning yourself from those things, the more likely you are to give in and have it in the end anyway. Whether it's there or whether it's later at night when you get home, you're highly likely to give in at some point. And the more you restrict yourself from those things, the worse it can actually get when you do fall back into old habits. So instead of telling yourself, no, I can't have this, I'm not allowed to have this. Don't choose those words. They are such powerful words. Instead, choose words like, I'm choosing not to have this. I can have it. It's there. It's always going to be there. I'm driving past McDonald's. It's always going to be there. It doesn't matter. I don't need it right now. I don't want it right now. I'm choosing not to have it. Okay, you're choosing not to. No one's telling you you can't apart from you. Okay, you're in control. It's your choice, right? The food is always there, but right now you're choosing not to go down that path and not to eat that horrible, nasty, sugary chocolate bar or those fatty chips or McDonald's burger, okay? You're in control. You've got the power here. So own that and just understand you can have it anytime you want, but you're choosing not to. That is a mindset I've adopted with so many things in my life, and honestly, it helps so much. Okay, number 5 is that you're overindulging after cardio. So if you're someone who goes and likes to run a lot on the treadmill or out in the street, or just do a lot of cardio when you're trying to lose weight, because you're doing cardio, you've built up an appetite. Your body is wanting more food because you've burnt the calories. However, it can be very easy to overeat if you don't control it. So just be careful when you've done a lot of cardio. Don't come home and sit on the couch and think, oh, because I've done this, I can reward myself with all of this. It doesn't work that way. Eat your snack, have your post-workout smoothie or your post-workout meal or your dinner, whatever it might be, but don't overindulge after that. Don't just treat yourself because you feel you've done good by doing that 20-minute run or that hour-long run. Okay, I'm not saying don't treat yourself at all, just don't overindulge when you've done cardio. It's so easy to do it. I always feel great after I've done cardio, and it is easy to sit down and think, right, I deserve it. I'm going to eat more than I normally would because I've already done that workout, so I can. When you're trying to lose weight, it just doesn't work that way. You've got to have that discipline and keep it in control, keep it in check. Also, when you're working out on machines that do track how many calories you've burnt, they are usually so inaccurate. They are not accurate machines. So if it's told you you've burnt so many calories, it's likely not an accurate figure. All right, number 6 is that you are not eating enough food. So most of us know that to lose weight, you need to be in a calorie deficit. However, that can be counterproductive if you are not eating enough food. When you're not eating enough calories, your body senses this and it lowers the rate in which you burn calories. I know it sounds crazy, but that's exactly what happens. Basically, what's happening here is your body is going into survival mode. It's not getting enough calories inside, so it's holding on to it and it's not burning it at the rate that it should be in order to lose the weight. So yes, to lose weight, you do need to be consuming less calories. You don't necessarily need to eat less food to be in a calorie deficit. You could also do more exercise, which will burn more calories. However, if you're not eating enough, if your calorie intake is just too low, then your body will hold on to it and it will not burn the calories at the rate that you need it to boost that fat loss. So to begin with on your weight loss journey, you might not notice this as much. Sometimes you notice this when you're sort of a few weeks into it or a few months into it even, and you feel you've hit a weight loss plateau, and it could just be that you're not eating enough calories, you've cut it back too much, and you need to increase that so that you can kickstart that fat burning again. A little tip, you can include a refeed day in your diet. So when you're trying to lose weight, you are clearly in a calorie deficit. However, if your calories are too low, your body won't burn it at the same rate. So by adding a refeed day, and I'm not going to say how often you should do this because it all depends on the different type of diet you're on, how much weight you need to lose, and how long you've been on your weight loss journey for. But in general, throwing in a refeed day every 10 days, once every week, once every 10 days, can really help you kickstart that fat burning. Now, that doesn't mean just eat everything and anything. This just means doubling your carbohydrate intake. Okay, so increase your carbohydrate intake on that day by 100%. And by doing that, that can just get the needle moving again and get that fat burning. Okay, we're nearly at the end. I told you I would give you one tip on how to boost your metabolism and sustain that long term, and that is by increasing your muscle mass. Now, I don't mean bulking up and having a whole lot of muscle and looking like the Hulk. No, I don't mean that. I just mean increasing your muscle mass and decreasing your body fat. Now, this is something that can take time. It's not an overnight fix. It's definitely not going to happen in a week or 2 weeks. This is something that's a long-term goal. It's something that will happen to you over many months of training and working out. Now, you do need to be on the right workout plan and know what you're doing to be able to build muscle, and most importantly, on the correct diet. You do need to be making sure that you have enough protein in your diet to build that muscle. The more muscle mass you have, the more calories your body will burn at rest. You don't even have to be doing anything. So that's a tip there, guys. Build some muscle mass and lose some body fat, and you can boost your metabolism. Okay guys, I hope you enjoyed that. I hope you got something out of this. My main point here is that food and diet and nutrition really, it is a personal thing. It's something that should be seen as a lifestyle shift. It's a long-term thing. It's not a short-term challenge. It shouldn't be seen as diet after diet after diet to lose weight quickly, only to revert back to old habits and put that weight back on again. Try and understand nutrition a little bit more, carbs, fats and proteins, understand your body, and you will set yourself up for long-term sustainable weight management and weight loss. Alright guys, thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.